Hello, this is Ariadne Rainbird, and today I'm talking about the Genethlia to Dionysou, the birthday of Dionysos, and the 12 days of Dionysos. There are many gods whose birthdays are celebrated on the 25th of December, such as Mithras, Dionysos, Horus. Some of these deities do have birthdays in history which have gone back long before the time of Christ, which are celebrated on round about the 25th of December, or just after the winter solstice, when the days are beginning to get lighter. So many gods who are associated with the sun have festivals around this time. But also, when Christianity became a thing and was adopted by the Roman Empire and paganism began to be repressed, then often those who were following the earlier religions had to disguise their worship if they wanted to continue. And so it's likely that the festival of Dionysos, the 12 days of Dionysos, drew on earlier winter festivals of Dionysos, but became incorporated into the time of Christian festivities. So the 12 days of Christmas were celebrated as the 12 days of Dionysos by the pagans who were still worshipping Dionysos. There were various festivals to Dionysos in the winter, such as Brumalia, and Dionysos likely featured in Saturnalia festivals. Well, in modern Orphic tradition, the nativity, epiphany or birth, Genethlia, of Dionysos is celebrated in the evening of 24th of December and is the beginning of 12 days of ritual worship of Dionysos the Saviour. And with each day, one of the Olympian gods and their divine consort is also honoured. In Orphic myth, Dionysos has 2 or sometimes 3 births, hence he is known variously as the twice-born Digonon or thrice-born Trigonon god. In his first birth, he is born to Persephone as the infant Zagreus, sired by Zeus or Zeus. This first birth is known as the first influence of Zeus upon the soul. Zeus united with Persephone in the form of a serpent, and from this union Zagreus was born. Zeus was pleased with his son and enthroned him, naming him as his successor, and gave him his thunderbolts and sceptre and presented him to the gods as their king. But, spurred on by the jealousy of Hera, the Titans smeared their faces with gypsum and lured Zagreus away and distracted him, giving him 7 toys referred to as the toys of Dionysos, such that he put down his thunderbolts and was unprotected. One of these toys was a mirror, and Zagreus became fascinated by his reflection in the mirror, and whilst he was distracted by his own reflection, looking into his reflection, seeing into eternity, the Titans grabbed him and prepared him for sacrifice, cutting him into pieces with their knives, but carefully preserving his heart and limbs. Then they took the remaining pieces of his flesh and roasted them on spits, and each ate a portion. Zeus smelt the burning flesh and sent Athena to rescue the still-beating heart. Athena took the heart of Dionysos Zagreus to Zeus in a silver casket, and Apollon took the limbs of the child and interred them at Mount Parnassus. Zeus then struck the Titanes with a thunderbolt, and from their ashes he fashioned the races of mortal beings, who have immortal souls, from the essence of Dionysos Zagreus, but also the base or sinful flesh of the Titans, and are chained to a sorrowful cycle of births and deaths. But in his compassion, Zeus also conceived of a solution to the problem of the sufferings of mortal life. Zeus made a potion from the heart of Zagreus and gave it to Semele to drink. Semele was the semi-divine daughter of Cadmus and Harmonia. Cadmus was a mortal king, but Harmonia is a goddess, the daughter of Aphrodite and Ares. Semele on drinking the potion, became pregnant with Dionysos. Zeus fell in love with Semele and promised to grant her anything she desired. Hera, having discovered the affair between her husband and the girl, convinced Semele to ask Zeus to appear to her in the same form that he appeared to Hera in. Zeus was unable to refuse this request because he had made an oath, and appeared with all his lightning and thunder. Semele was burned up by his divine flames, but wreaths of ivy grew around the babe in her womb, protecting him from the flames, and Zeus rescued the baby and sewed him up into his own thigh until he was ready to be born, to teach the mysteries and free mortals from the cycle of births. Thus was born Dionysos Eleftherios, Dionysos the Liberator. It is this second or third birth of Dionysos that we celebrate on December the 24th, and it is known as the second influence of Zeus on the soul. The date is set not according to the Roman calendar, but according to the Hellenic zodiacal mystical calendar. It is the 4th day of the 4th month of the mystic year, the month of Aegokeros or Capricorn, ruled by Hephaestus, the smith god who governs the natural law of morphe or form. It is on this 4th day of the 4th month, which falls on the evening of the 24th of December in our modern calendar, that we celebrate the first appearance of the god in the world, the influence of Zeus on the soul, and fulfilment of Zeus' divine providence. On the 12 days of Dionysos, we recite hymns and make offerings to Dionysos Eleftherios each day, as well as to the Olympian of the day and the divine consort of the Olympian, beginning with Estia and Hephaestus, who rules the first Orphic month of Libra, on the 24th, then Ares and Aphrodite on the 25th, Artemis and Apollon on the 26th, Hephaestus and Estia on the 27th, Hera and Zeus on the 28th, Poseidon and Demeter on 29th, Athena and Hermes on the 30th, Aphrodite and Ares on the 31st, of Apollon and Artemis on 1st of January, Hermes and Athena on 2nd of January, Zeus and Hera on the 3rd of January, and finally Demeter and Poseidon on the 4th of January. On the evening of the 5th of January, a special ritual is performed for the Epiphany of Dionysos, and this focuses on Dionysos himself. All the hymns to Dionysos are recited, and the presence of the god is felt and experienced. So a happy Genethlia to Dionysos, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Genethlia. And more about Dionysos and the various Orphic festivals, as well as Orphic philosophy and theogony, can be found in my book, To All the Blessed Gods. Thank you for watching.